Hello, YouTube. For several decades now, strange cases have been recorded in Russia. Old buses that no longer exist in reality suddenly appear on the roads. They pick up passengers, travel along the route, and then disappear without a trace. Are these mass hallucinations, temporary anomalies, or something even more mysterious? What is this mystery of ghostly buses disappearing before the eyes of passengers? The first documented cases of ghost buses date back to the 1970s. In 2024, paranormal researchers counted more than 120 such incidents in Russia alone. Most often, those phantoms appear in Moscow and St. Petersburg, in abandoned areas of industrial cities, on old routes where bus routes used to run. For example, in 2018, a truck driver near Chelyabinsk saw an old Laz 695, which was driving without a driver. When he tried to overtake the bus, the bus simply disappeared into the thin air. According to Dmitry Volkov, a researcher of anomalous phenomena, Soviet retro clones, which models are observed most often. An analysis of the evidence shows that 95% of ghost buses are models produced in the USSR. Number one, Laz 695, yellow one with a characteristic rounded hood, 47% of cases. 2. Liaz 677, the famous moonwalker, 32% of the cases. 3. Icarus 280, the Hungarian accordion, as the people called it, 15% of cases. Other models, 6%. Interestingly, in the years 2021 to 2023, reports of ghosts of already modern buses became more frequent. For example, the Maz 203. This model is still on the move, which casts doubt on some theories, scientific explanations, or mysticism. While scientists offer several hypotheses: the déjà vu effect, massive false memories, optical illusions, the play of light and shadow on the roads, geomagnetic anomalies, magnetic field surges are recorded in the places of frequent occurrence of such ghost buses. But there are more exotic theories. The theoretical physicist Artem Semyonov suggests this may be casts from parallel realities where these buses still run. At the points where the worlds intersect, they become visible. The most high-profile cases in Russia, for example, 2015 Moscow, a group of students filmed an Icarus 260 bus on their phone. It was traveling along the closed route number 144. The video shows it driving through a bus stop and disappearing. 2019 Kazan, the driver of minibus number 98 claims that he drove for 10 minutes behind the old Laz, which then disappeared in front of the bridge. Interestingly, it was at this location that an accident involving the same model took place in 1987. 2023 Sochi, tourists from Yekaterinburg posted photo of the Liaz 677 ghost bus that allegedly drove them to the hotel. Although there have been no such models left in the city since the 2000s. How to distinguish a ghost bus from a regular one? Eyewitnesses identified several signs: unusually quiet engine operation or complete absence of sound, blurred or missing body parts on closer inspection, the absence of the driver or his blurred silhouette, route numbers that no longer exist. If you notice something like this, experts advise against boarding such a vehicle. Although no cases of passengers disappearing have been recorded, the consequences can be unpredictable. Technologists against ghosts how Yandex and Sberbank in Russia are investigating the phenomenon. Well, in 2022, Yandex launched an experimental service for analyzing anomalies on roads. The system captures phantom objects on street surveillance cameras. More than 40 TB of data has already been collected, and Sbertech is developing a neural network that can distinguish real vehicles from possible ghosts by 137 parameters. The pilot project was planned to be launched in 2025 with a budget of 120 million rubles. We're not claiming that we are catching ghosts, but if anomalies exist, technology will help us study them, said Denis Morozov, project manager. Some of the personal experience reported: when a ghost becomes reality. Alexei, age 34, a driver from Nizhny Novgorod, shared his story. In 2020, he was driving along an empty highway at night, and suddenly he saw an old bus ahead. So he decided to overtake it, but the distance between them did not decrease. Then it disappeared. The strangest thing is that the navigator at that moment showed that he drove 3 kilometers in 10 seconds. After this incident, Alexei installed 3 video recorders in the cockpit, but he did not record anything unusual anymore. What do public transport drivers think about this? A survey among 500 bus drivers in 2024 showed this. 62% consider stories about ghosts to be fiction, 23% believe that this is a real phenomenon, 15% have personally encountered something inexplicable. At the same time, 87% of respondents say that they were not afraid of such encounters, saying that ghosts drive more carefully than many modern drivers. Is it possible to summon a ghost bus intentionally? Experiments by enthusiasts show that this is possible. Russian online forums describe several ways. 1. Stand at the top of the disappeared route at night. 2. Repeat the old bus number out loud. 3. Use items from the past, for example, old tickets. But experts warn it can be dangerous. In 2021, in the Moscow region, 2 men tried to summon a ghost bus and disappeared for 3 days, claiming later that they drove around the city of the 1980s. The future of the phenomenon: will ghosts disappear with the development of technology? Paradoxically, with the advent of electric buses and drones, reports of ghosts have not decreased, but even became more frequent. Perhaps it's because people have become more likely to record anomalies on cameras. Nostalgia for the past enhances the phenomenon. We just became more attentive to the oddities around us. However, the mystery of the ghostly buses remains unsolved. Maybe someday science will find an explanation, or they will just stop appearing. I urge you to see my video that I made a few years ago about the ghost trains of Eurasia. Just go by this. You will find it when you do the search in my channel. And if you like my research, please support through the links you find in the description to this video. Please like my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your attention to my work, and I'll bring you more stories soon.